Okay, so it's 3:15, and I've been up since like 1:30. This is my third time to start. This is unusual. Usually I just start and start going, and I keep starting, and then it's like I don't know. The energy is so weird. I feel so weird. I felt so weird for the past couple days. So if you're feeling weird, I think it's just the energy because it feels really weird, man. And I didn't finish telling the story. I think it was yesterday. Um, about the wood thing, because I wanted to finish that. Because the wood guy, I had messaged him and said, "Are you coming?" Because I'm sitting here trying to get my situation under control before winter hits, and especially like I'm paying attention, and I know that there's this big fucking wicked storm coming that they're saying is going to hit 48 states. They're so concerned about Texas, so Texas is about to get hammered and, but we're supposed to get some fucking huge storm, and then it's, time travelers that were gonna be hit with some huge blizzard, and everybody's gonna be in their houses freezing to death, which over in North Carolina, up in the mountains where they are killing all these people, that, now it's cold, and now people are freezing. So, we got that whole thing going over there. It's so bad over there. It's just they've got crews out while the people are asleep, whatever people are left, and they are, working at night. And there's a whole thing going around about how many body bags that have been, issued and that they need more and stuff. This is way worse than what they're telling the people, for sure. Because that would wake people up. But I don't know. The people are so dead ass asleep. Like, it is 100% two totally different realities. And this is what has just been really getting me for the past couple days. Um, and I have barely been going on TikTok because I just can't stand it. I'm at that kind of stage right now where it just irks me. And I'm like, oh, I've just got to stay off of here. Because it just is like, oh my God, it makes me start feeling like people are total idiots. And so there's tons and tons of stuff about the spaceships. There's more people seeing stuff of thing, this whole awakening to the UFO thing or whatever the fuck. I don't even know. Some of the stuff is just like, uh, I'm telling you, I'm like, oh, my boiling point. I was like, I've boiled over, steam's coming out now. It's like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, I'm so done. I am fucking, I've turned to leather on the grill. This is like, Jesus Christ. So you got the whole Mama Tot thing still fucking going, and she's still trying to backpedal and save herself, and people just going in harder and coming in from all corners, and people are fighting each other over her, and the whole thing is just insane. Same with Dan, Lieutenant Dan, the same thing. And now there's more. This boat that he was having to stay on was it's because he's a squatter and he's in court. These people have been trying to take their boat back from him, and he got squatter rights. So he's just, more stuff coming out with how crooked he is. His daughter now is just like doing video after video. There's people whose accounts are blowing up bitching about Mama Todd, and they're getting tens of thousands of followers overnight. That's the world that we're in. And let's all join in on the hate together. It's mental. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like part of it is like, oh my God, this is so fucking. Oh, there's like a point where it's like you just want to give up on humanity. Like what the fuck? And that is to me shows like how dramatic that whatever's gonna happen is gonna be dramatic. And Trump did some kind of thing yesterday. I don't know. He's just rallying through the weird California thing. And that I know of, he hasn't said anything about it. And so he hasn't made any response. And he was supposed to do some town hall thing or something. I kept seeing him yesterday on when I went on TikTok, because whatever in the evening time, I went to go check and see if anything was happening or whatever. And because I'll check my comments or conversations or whatever. And some of the conversations are just so like, I'm telling you, they're so fucking weird that it's just like, this is not real. Like this is too weird. And then so like some of these people, I swear they aren't just in there to bully you. They're there to distract you. So you talk about what I don't know how to explain it, but it's weird. And there's something weird. Like I can just feel it. And it's like there's no fucking way I'm that goddamn interesting that you want to just talk to me nonstop all fucking day long. Every little motherfucking thing. Like, come on. Yeah, it's just weird. And so the besides on there, seeing there's just so much of this, just this stuff. It's just this like fireworks going. It's like a fireworks show, and the fireworks just keep going and going and going. It's like, come on, let's get to the finale, dude. Like, this is just getting noisy. That's what it feels like to me. Because I don't like fireworks. I don't like 4th of July. I hate it. I remember going to this one as a teenager out at the lake when you go with all teenagers, and whatever chaos, craziness with all these things. And I just went and got in somebody's car and like was hiding in the car. I was like, fuck that. And I've done this before at other fireworks things too. Go and get in the car. But then I start getting in panic. Somebody's going to get a firework under the car and blow the car up. That's how much I don't like fireworks. I don't know. It's very deep inside of me. Probably was fucking killed in an explosion somewhere somehow. Or during war or something. So it's I can't stand it. And so anyways, the firework, this is what this is reminding me though of, this energy. And it's so tedious, and it's so loud and in your face, and people are so fucking loud, and this dual reality is no joke, man. It is so fucking weird. I'll just tell you a couple things. I've got so many things, like, fuck, man. I was thinking, like, what am I even going to talk about now? I'm like flooded. Okay, so this girl, I just seen, this is the kind of bullshit that is just so insane. And this is why I'm just blocking people. I'm just blocking them just because I don't want to see them anymore. I don't want to hear what you have to say. It's too creepy. I can't. Because it motivates me to either get angry or to say something. And the one girl yesterday that I had said something to, where she was telling me, or she was doing this whole video about Mama Tot was spreading misinformation. And that's what gets me. It's like, she's spreading accurate information. This whole fight is so absurd. This is so mental, but this is how things have to play out. Because there's energy attachments that have to play out. It's so fucking absurd. And so this girl in this other reality who's telling me, and which, by the way, because her and I had conversed for quite a while, and there was just a certain point, and it seemed like it was going okay, like it was just two different perspectives, but she still circled back and started telling me I had no right to talk about any place that I didn't live at or whatever. And I'm thinking, okay, so Hawaii, Wyoming, California, like all the things and all the places I've been talking about with all this stuff, but North Carolina is off. Like, we're not allowed to talk about it because there's too much misinformation, because the government is doing everything to save these people. These people who are saying all this other stuff, they're just lying. They're just making shit up. These other people, and this girl said, well, she's out there, she's helping in some place. I said, so the other reality these other people are experiencing, that doesn't exist then, because it's only what your reality is. Like, that's absurd to me. And then, but this is how people are, and they can't even think outside of the box. And so, all these people who are killing themselves, they are lost everything. Now they're freezing. They have no food or water. Like, there's been no power and stuff for over like 16 days or something. And I was really glad to see somebody in Florida talking about that everybody's leaving Florida. And she said, even if we rebuild, there's just another hurricane coming. Yes, exactly, people. Thank you. Wake up, God. And that is what we have to have, a mass exodus. The storms in these places are not going to get better. We have got to move to safer ground. And we have to go outside the box to find safer ground. We have to think outside the box. Like, uh, the one thing is going to be the waterways are going to become bigger. And they're even sitting here talking about this one town that got washed away, that how ridiculous it is that already had happened before. They rebuild it. Now it happened again. And then they're still going in and rebuilding. Like, this is mental illness. And so that is what actual mental illness is to just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and getting the same results. You have to think different. And one thing that is going to be is that we're going to have to be on higher ground. We've already seen what they did, so we have to pay attention about the dams. But to me, we got to follow this motherfucking map. There's just way too many places this map comes from that I feel like that is our best link to where it is we're going. And it makes the most sense with the storms. The only one that doesn't to me, and I don't know what's coming over here by Mexico or New Mexico and Arizona and stuff. And it could be whatever, a storm, a hurricane that's going to come across from down in Baja or something. Because this Nadine, now they're just all over the place with this Nadine, and she's going right back to kick the same asses that Milton and Helene have been kicking. So but the hurricanes, oh yeah, and there's an earthquake right now over in California, like a 4.7. So all that stuff, I'm sure there's tons that we're not being notified about. But there's people who are watching this stuff too, and there's people who are experiencing it, and then they go online and talk about it. And so we've got, there's going to be shit that's going to go down over here. I mean, it's just, that is the ego of the West Coast, of thinking like, oh yeah, well, everything's cool, I'll surf hurricanes, it's this, I don't know, there's just this arrogance that I don't know how to explain, but both coasts, both people have it. Everything is this east-west. So this, let me finish with this one girl, because there's so many different ones. Because the one, oh yeah, because when she told me, you'll go just talk, I didn't even read all of her stuff. I just blocked her. So I just don't have any patience or any time for such idiocracy and a hyper vigilant of being ignorant, man. It's like not even looking into shit. Google, it's a quick Google and you get your answer right there. Just quick Google. If you don't get it from Google, just Snopes. Just go Snopes it. They'll tell you the truth. It's like, oh my God, this place is so fucking mental. These people, oh God, I swear to God. The fucking brain dependency or something. This fucking programming, the mind trap, I don't know. I heard something yesterday where I was like, that's probably what it is. That there was just some of us that came in that we weren't going to be able to be programmed like the other people. And so, the first part, going through life feeling so insecure, like, what is wrong with everybody? And now getting to this other part, we're having to wait for everybody to wake up out of this program slumber that they're in or something. But it would make sense to me because it's so weird to me. It's so weird. I just don't get how people can be like, so this, okay, to even to me, to even pretend like that Kamala has the following that Donald does is so motherfucking absurd. What does she just come out from the rear of the race? Like, so nobody liked her, nobody wanted her, and now all of a sudden, well, she's the candidate they throw at you, and you guys just jump on like, hell yeah, it's a woman, hell yeah, it's not going to be him. Because that's their whole thing. They don't give a fuck about policy. They don't give a fuck what she's doing right now. They're not even fucking paying attention. You can sit there and say stuff to them and ask them. And it's just like, they do not care. Just like that one guy, whatever his weird motherfucking video was, is, we'll never let it happen again. And then you go in and it's like, what the fuck? And you go in and it's just like blue, 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 hearts, blue, 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 hearts, blue, 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 blue. I was like, what in the holy hell with these people? They are so fucking, this TDS thing is just, it's creepy, man. It's creepy. And they don't even realize how creepy it is. They don't even realize how programmed they are. It's just mind boggling. And like you over here, you can just come and beat my ass. I don't care, but just keep that guy away from me. It's like, this is mental illness. It's just mental illness all throughout. They want to turn around and tell us people who are a part of the unknown that we are crazy, but it's these other people that have no attachment to their soul. They're motherfucking crazy. And so because it's repetitive, do the same things over and over and over. And yeah, there can be generational, but when you have it like, oh, well, my grandma and grandpa lost their house and now then we rebuild and now another one's coming, it's like, cut your losses. It's time to go. And then everybody, oh, well, I got to make money off that land. Okay, well, that is going right back into that three-dimensional concept of existence, because who owns the land? Who owns the land? Because that land's about to go underwater. So who the fuck are you going to sell it to? Yeah, and what kind of integrity do you have if you're selling something like that? So it's, you know, just like all these people putting their houses up for sale in Florida. Who the fuck do you think is going to come buy those houses? Like, you just, you do whatever. Like, I've seen houses that have been washed away, and now the people are standing out there whining, yeah, I just had to make a house payment on that. You had to? You had to make a house payment on that your house just washed away, but you had to make the house payment on it. Okay. Okay. So, this woman in this video, so she is saying that, you know, they're very excited. The Blue are very excited. They feel like this is a definite win. They are going to win in November. There's just no doubt about it. They've got the kick-ass candidate. She is just out there taking names. And they, I don't know, they must not be paying attention to the other side, because the other side just keeps showing videos of this drunk chick up there just rambling. It's like, do you go and listen to her? Or you just are all caught up in that she's a girl? She's a girl. I don't even know that she's really a girl. Like, there's a lot of evidence that show that she's some guy named Admir or something. So, I don't know. Like, you don't know the person. You don't, I mean, there's people that you can know on the daily and you don't know them. So, thinking that you know somebody when you don't know them at all is just absurd. And so anyways, this one, so she's like, they're just super excited, and so she was talking to one of her Blue friends, and he was like, well, you just are going to have to understand something. It's very unlikely that she is going to win. It's going to probably be the other guy. The girl is just like, what? How can you even say that? Her whole reaction was 2016 to me, Facebook, like when I would start talking to people, and I was telling them, he's going to win, you guys. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And people were freaking out. It was like, it was the same reaction. Also, I was like, fuck, this is like 2016. 2016 all over again. Oh, God. So, it's like, it was the whole Bernie thing again with this insertion of Kamala. Like, this whole thing is so insane. It's like this, just, we're going to just play it out again, only it's going to be more extreme because these people didn't wake up back then. And it's just like, and I know a part of it has something to do with that. I know a part of it has something to do with the people being like, oh my God, how did I not see it sooner? How did I, and it's internal. Like, I don't know what your blockages are. That's for you to figure out. But I know that that's a part of it, is realizing how much you have blocked yourself, because that is definitely something I have gone through on so many different healing things. You know, the signs were there and you ignored the signs and stuff, and asking yourself, like, why? Oh, well, you know, my friend group or whatever it is. And so it's going to be a whole lot of that that's going to be when the mirrors come in and people have to look at themselves. And that's going to be at the grand finale. We're still at this motherfucking tedious thing of just goddamn noise and lights and goddamn it. Oh God, I'm sick of it. So the guy tells her, well, it's probably going to be that Donald's going to win. So you're just going to have to face it. And she's like, why? Why would you say this to me, Damien? Why? And then he's all, because so many men hate women. She's all tore up about this, but it's true. That's our problem in society. So many men hate women so much that they will not vote for her, even though she's such a wise, perfect candidate. Like, why? I mean, she just take us, right across the finish line. And whose finish line is she taking us across? I think the other team. And so that's the reason, though. That's the reason she won't get in. Is because all of these fucking men just hate women. And there's the whole thing too of this idiocracy. Also with the black vote keeps going too. I don't even know because I don't listen to all these different videos. There's just so fucking many. But the manipulation going on, trying to tell the black men, and then, well, they won't. This just insanity. The black women and feeling proud, well, and they have to support, that you're not supporting women, and oh my God, it's just so much manipulation. And even there's a commercial for Kamala's campaign that's so fucking absurd about like all these different just men talking about what it is to be a man, and they can cry and they can cook and they can do this and they can definitely vote for a woman. It's like, this is so, you see how we are in this like such a primitive state in our society. It's so weird. And it is so black and white. It is so us against them. And that is, okay, yeah, this was something I was thinking about in the middle of the night. Because this, like the zoos, Poseidon, and I had seen this one girl, she was doing a video, and she is a dark-skinned person with the natural hair, but her hair is more of these, it's not braids, it's not the what you call it, dreads, but kind of like a dready braid, kind of there's these long dready braid things, I think. But it wasn't just like a big, so it was more, I don't know, because in all these different cultures and stuff of different tribes, that they did their hair in different ceremonial things. So different people can have attachments to certain, like in them, certain drives to certain ways of wearing their hair or makeup, or just even all this tattooed face stuff. So it can be something from deep inside of these people from different times and different tribes they were in. That is, that's why you can't be judging all these people. Like everybody's true self is coming to the surface too. And I saw this video that I thought was kind of interesting, because this girl, she was heavily face tattooed, all of her whole thing, and she had like these stripes and these things and stuff. She may have even had her eyeballs tattooed. I don't know. She was a lot going on. And a kind of a hair thing. I don't remember what her hair was different. And she was saying, they keep saying to be yourself until you're like me. And it's like, that's sad, isn't it? Because it is like, be yourself. But, because there was another part to it. She said people keep telling her to love herself, and that she should be herself, but being herself is not acceptable, whatever the thing is, because when she's herself, people tell her something's wrong with her. And that is the sad thing about society. And the people who are the strongest will teach the most to society about being yourself. Just be yourself. Even if nobody likes you, just be yourself. That's what's important. And people gotta see they are all these different beings and different gods and stuff like that. So this one lady this morning with that hair thing, she was talking about Medusa, and she was saying that Medusa was really not Nubian, some goddess that was from Syria, and they're half something, I don't know, but she was talking about that it isn't that she didn't have snakes in her hair, that she had hair like this lady. She had natural hair, and the natural hair, which I've been saying for fucking years and years and years, all this stuff about black people's hair, but that she uh that Medusa was able to, she was so strong, and her name's not Medusa, it's this other name, not Nubian, but something like that. And that she was able to move her hair out. She was able to have so much of her energy that she could move her hair. And the other beings were so intimidated by her, scared of her, or whatever. So that's why she had to be demonized and stuff. And that is, this lady's saying, a part of right, the culture of their hair had to be demonized. They don't want people to know, the black people to know the real power of their hair. Even the spiral of how their hair grows is the spiral of the universe, which is, I was so interested because their hair is like that. That was something I thought was really cool, because when I went to school with when all the black kids came into my school, so their hair would be everywhere. Their hairs would fall out all over the place. And in their hairs were these little, like, these little curls that were like what she's saying is really interesting. And I know that it's antenna, but it was just really cool back then, back during, the Soul Train and stuff like that. When, I mean, guys had huge fros, and they'd walk around school and they would always be picking them, and people were so proud of their hair, and the bigger it was. And there was still a lot of girls who did, but that is when they started, a lot of the girls started ironing their hair. See, they start going against their natural thing, and I don't know why. There was a thing of people being shamed, is what I heard, about their hair. So this became this big shame about your hair. And I think that is also when they started doing Jerry curls. So then whatever it was, they got them all to, all these guys cut their fros. It was like when in the 70s, when guys had long hair, the fros were really big. And then, all the guys cut their hair for a new look or whatever. So it was like that. And all these guys cut their fros off. But then it didn't go back. It stayed with this, all of this other thing, like where women, this braiding their hair and doing all these weaves, all the money they spend when they have such cool natural hair, to try and have this hair like I think most of the wigs are dead Indian people from India. Apparently, they wash up on the shores in China or something. They go out and take the hair and then sell it. They do all this process. Most of the hair is all off dead people or out of the sewer. So, and that's what I was saying. And people put this on their head and stuff. And it's so weird. Because I'll get these like visions all of a sudden, somebody prancing around so proud when they got like this decaying thing on their head. And it's like the duality of society. But that's why it has to be shown to society. This side, they have to see it. There was another, because there was another. So but these people who, because it has been a few videos that they are just weird about this whole thing with this voting thing. And I don't understand how like they can't tell the amount of support this other guy has. And his support just keeps growing and growing and growing, because his is a movement towards freedom. The other thing is all based on this restriction and control and stuff. And it's like these other people haven't woke up to that yet. And they hear this other thing, but they don't realize that they are out there being bullies, and they're out just showing how ignorant they are and how superficial. They don't even care what she's actually doing. They'll just vote for just because she's got a vagina, supposedly. Then it's weird. And so all of these sides of these people, have to be exposed to themselves, that we're all having it exposed to us. Like we're seeing it. And then that it motivates us to reveal something to ourselves. So our judgment, our hatefulness, our bitterness, our trying to convince them, whatever it is. And then we have to go in and look at our own motivation, what it is we're trying to accomplish. Why do we feel we have to do this or that? And to me, everything is about moving towards the letting go and letting go. And because what was that? That was something about that I wanted to say, because um there's something else about the well, I'm just going to keep calling it Western spirituality, because I don't think this is any kind of movement that is other than in America. I don't even know if it's going on in Canada. I don't know that it's going on anywhere other than America. And if it is, I would say it would still be probably English speaking places that didn't have a lot of spirituality, that were more heavy in religion and atheist. So our society was based off people who are religious or atheists, which mostly atheists are more like believe in science. And the thing is too about the world of existence it's like a multitude of things, because like in the beginning it was an energetic pulse, it was this explosion of energy, and it was like the energy exploded, and I think what caused the explosion was like the heat of the energy. It's like an atom, a comet is the birth of a new existence or something. And so this energy ball that exploded, and then it went out in all these different energies. And so that is like the fractal of God. And so all of these energies, and so then you could look at it as a space body, that we are all the sparks of this comet, and how it moves through, and how it moves with all the different color spectrum, and in the resonance that it makes. Yeah, that's cool, because it was like a different resonance. It was different sounds that it made in the beginning than what it makes now, because it has gone from there to here. And then it is because it reminds me also of when that one day, I don't remember what I was asking. Probably, show me something cool or something, like, because I've had lots of experiences. And so I'm not sure why this one happened, but anyways, I was in and I had just been getting off of all of the drugs, all of the pharmaceuticals. And so I had started using the THC stuff to wean off it, because it was hard. It was hard. I was on 18 meds. So my body was withdrawing off a lot of chemicals and stuff. So it was really hard. And I was in a lot of pain and stuff. And so my daughter had given me some of those like weed candies and stuff. And then I smoked some. So I was using weed then. That's when my whole weed thing started, like 2016. And then there was some RSO, which that's what Stella takes all the time, but you can get it in different amounts of CBD and THC. And my daughter worked at the weed store. Like, I didn't know any of this stuff. And that they brought in samples. And so she had told us to try this stuff. And my one daughter's sober. and then me, and I wasn't sober, so I was doing weed all the time. But so we took that, and then it was like this tiniest little drop of this stuff. It's supposed to be like the size of rice. And this was new to her. She said she didn't know that much about it, but it was something that they give to people for cancer or something. I don't remember the whole spiel that she told us, but we weren't thinking it was gonna do anything. And so we left to go shopping, And then both of us on the way started being like tripping out. So it was very, very strong. And it comes in a tube. So I know I had some because it would work when I would get a really bad migraine. And so you take it and it makes you sleepy, I think. And that's what usually happens when Stella takes it too. She just sleeps better. And so, whatever, I remember I had taken some of it. So I don't know what the deal was, but I'd taken some of this RSO stuff, and it's only a tiny bit. And I was sitting on the couch, and I had said something. I don't know. I was always talking to them, and then all of a sudden, I was in this. It was like this tornado kind of thing. I was sucked into this like tornado kind of thing. And as soon as I went in there, I said, "Can I bring Stella?" And they said, "Yes." And, but she didn't come with me. I was by myself. And so inside, it was like being inside. If you were a record player and you were the thing that held the records and you had a whole bunch of records stacked up, or if you took the lines on a record and you turned it right side up, all those lines. So it was like zillions and zillions of lines going up in this tornado. And every line was a different reality. And I had this total awareness of that. But it was like I was on this tour, like I had a tour guide with me. And so then they took me and spit me out in this space. And when I came out in it, it was just like darkness. And so I was in darkness, but I could see a light way out there. And so I started going towards that light. That's weird because that is just like that thing when I was asleep. And see, I start going towards that light, but don't, that I swear it was a portal or something. I don't know what the hell, because there's something weird about these eyes coming at you when you are asleep or trying to go to bed or whatever. Well, I don't know. It depends on where you are in your head, I guess, because not everybody has the same headspace. So I was going towards this, and the light was, I could see this light and I could hear it and I could feel it. And the closer I got to it, I could feel it through my body. So everything I was seeing, I could feel it through my body. It was horrible. It was so fucking horrible. And I started having this feeling, what am I, God? Am I like, how is this? Like, I feel everything of everybody's. Like, what is this? And as I went up, it was like I could see it was like a roller coaster ride. And it went in all of these things around. It didn't have a circles. It just went in all of these like ups and downs and ups and downs. And as I got closer, I could hear all the people, and I could hear them, all their emotions changing and changing. Like it was extreme, and I could feel it inside my body. But this, screaming, then happy, and it was so intense, man. And I just really got this idea of like these cycles, and everything is just like this ride, this cycles of ups and downs and different things and different perspectives. Like it's all this, just this ride. And so anyways, once I could see that and have this acknowledgement or whatever, then I left from there. And it seems like I went back into the tunnel thing, because there was another thing about Stella. I don't remember. I can't remember it that much, but I remember being, that whole thing was so intense. And I don't remember why I was, what I was saying about why this was reminding me of it. But but these cycles and stuff, like, and how the people are, and all the emotion that comes out, and and how it just moves and it just cycles. I don't know, it just was very much how I see, especially like how these things are going. And I can totally see what they say about this, like this new earth or this other one. And my kids are in other this other group still. And so, it's very intense to be in this other space and be watching your family back in this other space, and all the things that they think and say are real to them. And, um, like these girls, like thinking, uh, just all these different things that I'm hearing these people say that are just like so weird and so absurd and so not consistent with reality, that it's so obvious that they are programmed or that they are um, being led by a false narrative, that it is it's mental, like this person who's screaming about spreading misinformation when she just feeds off of misinformation. That's the this duality bipolar thing that is occurring. That is the parts of people that they're going to have to face. See, she's sitting out here screaming and yelling at people, arguing with people about this and canceling people, getting other people to cancel, which there's other people coming out about Mama Tot now too. And this Mama Tot chick, she wasn't so fucking nice. Like, and one thing too that's so absurd, because when you see her, you would think like she's a Southern conservative woman who exaggerates her twang. But I've been around a lot of women who exaggerate their twang for attention, and but it's quite obvious to some of us, it's an exaggeration. And like I said, I never was into her or whatever. I just she ran across my thing, no interest, just swipe. The only time that I had ever seen her where I had any interest when her son had died. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sad. Her son was murdered. She has this huge account. What's she gonna do with this? Like, because I had already had seen where people's lives were falling apart and stuff. Like people were abandoning huge accounts and stuff like that because life was becoming too real for them. And she didn't. She just continued. She soldiered on. And then it's so much about money and stuff. And her accounts all run by moderators. Like the whole thing is just so, and that's where people are getting really just disgusted. It's like, this is supposed to be social media, and it's just the same fake, phony Hollywood, I'm better than you kind of attitude, atmosphere, and all these people who just sell their soul or have a lack of integrity in order to make money. And it just is showing. It's just so much at the surface, and so many people are seeing it. And so, who knows what's going to happen with her. And the thing is she's gonna have to choose a side. I think she's already gone with the blue thing, but apparently people have gone and looked it up. She's never even registered to vote. She's never even voted before at all. And so these people are getting all like, she's gonna go save the day by getting Kamala in there or something. Like, it's so weird to watch these people scurry around trying to get this horrible, horrible candidate whose husband is involved with this horrible crime that has just happened against all these people. And she is, the footage I've seen of her, she definitely seems drunk. But all this stuff is on purpose, This is all to show to and she's at the Diddy parties and stuff. There's every day, all those new things going to come out. There's more stuff coming out on Joe. There's all these impeachable offenses. So it just keeps heating up and heating up for the blue people, but they just are ignorant, or they just ignore all of these things, and they just focus on Donald. Like, I can tell you everything that he's doing. And so apparently, where I saw him yesterday and he was live, and just every video he was live, and he was just talking to some reporter, or some woman they were standing on stage and she was asking him questions and he was talking. It was the same old fucking rhetoric. I was just like, I'm over it. I don't want to hear this fucking bullshit. Like, I was fucking over it in 2021, man. And so so that's what I saw. So now there's this footage showing, and they're saying that he came out to some town hall. So I don't even know if he went to another one. He's just going bouncing from thing to thing. And fast too. Like, it's so fast. He's like, every day I turn on the thing, it's like Trump rally live. And it's like, what? And So he was standing on some stage, and they said that he just kept standing there, and he did some little dances and just kept standing there, and there was some music playing. And then all the people in the comments are like, "Oh my God, sundowners! See, he's insane. He'll be gone soon. Thank God we won't have him." Like all of that kind of shit. And I'm thinking, this has got to be a comp. This is like he's dancing to a song because it's like, this is the end. This is the end. Like, uh, I think that he was showing something, but a lot of people can't see what he's showing until after the fact. Because so many things you don't understand until you look backwards. And these people, their heads are going to spin because they're looking in such a wrong direction. And so they're awakening, but it's gonna be the don't be thinking like, oh, the red people, see, they're ahead because they're no, just because they're awake on the government shit, they're not awake on the God shit. So they're worshiping this. To me, it's a false god, and oh yeah, because that is okay. So yeah, it is like back to that thing about all the different gods. And so throughout the history of man, and it's not just man, it's souls. So throughout the history of souls. So in the beginning, when this comet went and all this energy shot out and all these sparks of existence began to form and create a world of existence, and they all became it's like different stages of consciousness, so that they could, that whole thing about, what am I, who am I, what am I doing here. And so that is the creation of experience. And so then so the souls created experience through wanting to understand themselves, and then through experience became a hierarchy, I would say, I would call it, of like advancement of who's more powerful, who's got more uh, power. And that is where you start having these gods of like Zeus and Poseidon and I can't even think of all these different ones, but the Greek gods and Althea or something. Like there's a bunch of these God type people. And I think there's going to be way more of this stuff when we start hearing our history stuff, because I think that the Anunnaki, I think any of the time where these more intelligent beings came to the more ignorant beings, that it was like they're like godlike, like these people haven't even developed language, and these people are and they're doing science experiments, but they also hadn't developed language yet because it was in the creation, it was that they had their own language. Oh yes, it's like the beginning of taking away one's own language, and it's like building blocks to this society. Oh, that's trippy, because it was like the creatures, whatever they were, that the Anunnaki took to merge, because there was a lot of this different merging and stuff. But the creatures, because I can see a lot of that, this just went on and on and on and on. And the creatures were robbed of their primary, their birthright from the beginning. They could communicate through or whatever. They didn't need to have this other, because their existence was about that. So it's the same thing as like we were like, oh, deers, yeah, they got the life, but man, let's change that up. And this is where there's different links to different alien scientists or something, because then that is where they started messing. That's where the karma debt began, is this going in and changing these other beings. And that right there is overpowering and enslavement, and that is the building blocks also of this society. And so it all stems from the beginning of this creation of this society. And what's trippy about this society is that the multiple frequencies that it holds. And okay, so the best way I could explain it is like this place is frequency, like has a frequency. Okay, so this picture's going across the TV. Okay, so like the honeycomb thing, and even an apartment, like apartment with all of these windows, is the structure that there's openings, but there is in a containment. And so those of us birthed into this reality are like go through into this containment. So it's like that doesn't mean that's the part that's going to be the awakening, is these people realizing who and what they are. They aren't what they think they are. And so the um so the people get lost like I do. And okay, so we're birthed into this containment for this experience. And for us, because this isn't our true life, our real life is outside of this. Our real vibration, our real existence is outside of this. So being birthed into it is like a game, like a virtual reality game. It's like your soul putting on the virtual reality visor thing and going into this virtual world that feels really real, so that you can experience sensation. And to me, it seems like it's about sensation, to be able to see what it feels like to feel. And so but because of this, the structure of this existence is like this honeycomb, or like it is a containment, like I've said before, like a fabric, but there's holes in it. Like nothing is woven completely closed. Nothing can be completely closed. Like even a rock has pores. So everything has a porousness to it. And so the universe has this. So in all of these spaces that you can travel through with your vibration. So your frequency is like I've said, it's like your passport to travel through the universe. And so there's people who can come into this space through using their vibration. Like they are living. This is the weird thing, is because it's like such a merge of all these different realities and different realms and stuff. And throughout this different period of time where, each god tried to be more powerful than the other god. There was no god that was going to take a knee to another god. But there was a battle to try and get the other gods to take a knee to you. And so this power play has been playing out in our society for a long time, of this hierarchy, who's better than who. And that to me is this representative of this spirituality, the Western spirituality, is still this, power play. And these people, like there's this, oh, hurry, start moving Nadine now. Like all of you soldier warriors, spiritual warriors, prayer warriors and stuff, go move this hurricane so there's no death or whatever. But death has to occur. Death is a part of this existence. Death isn't real, but it still occurs because it's the exit from the game, and that still has to happen. And so to sit there and be saying that you're going to go against natural order because you feel that you know what's right, then you are the God who's trying to go up against the universe to say that you know what's right instead of the universe knowing what's right. Especially to those of us who came in, were birthed into the game. It's like we signed contracts to come in and play this game. It's not like the universe would be disappointed in you. And say like, oh, well, you're too stupid, you don't know how to play the game because you're too caught up in the game. it's like more of the universe. It finds it fascinating to watch how someone can get caught up in the game. Like, how can people lose themselves? How can they forget who they are? And how does that change them when they forget who they are? So it's not like you are doing anything wrong, like will you go to hell or something like that, or that you're worse than this person who knows things and remembers, because the universe feeds off of all information. All information is accurate to the information that is being brought, because it is each individual's information. And so it is what the universe feeds off of. So it needs all of this information. So it doesn't care what you're doing. It just wants all this information. And so so at this time where this awakening, it's the awakening is so weird to me, because it's all about this consciousness becoming aware of itself. And that is the whole thing with souls and soul's journey. And I can see the whole point of becoming aware of yourself in this reality, and how it changes your reality, becoming aware of yourself. And so the consciousness becoming aware of itself and making changes in its development of self is, to me, what I would call the awakening. And there's a lot of other people, though, who think, the awakening is awakened to the corruption of this place, the government, the vampires. Yeah, that's all true, because that's a part of what you wake up to. You wake up and see that, but see, so many people wake up and see that, and they don't go any further. And they just, go take it to Jesus, or whatever. What was that one? Because that one was like so mental too. Some of this stuff I keep seeing is just so mental, man. And I can't even remember what this one was. It's just like, ugh. But, oh yeah, there is way more. Yeah, that is funny. Because there was way more of the people now, that there's so much talk of the tunnels. Now there's people like, there was a girl who was like, I was down in the tunnels under my school. And she starts telling this whole story about the tunnels under her school. And she goes, I never thought anything about it until now, hearing about all the tunnels. And then, which her talking about those was like, oh my gosh, that's so weird. Because now there's all these stories coming out. They're under hospitals, they're under schools. Like, there's this whole system. It's not just, he's basically just a nabbing. But it has so many different things, because there's so much about, like, we're fish food, we're organ parts, we are sex dolls, we are, like, they'll use us for anything. We're just usable, expendable creatures to them. And no, that's part of what you got to wake up to, is seeing that. There's so many people who just don't. Like, this is so weird, man. I just get these flashes of these different things and different people, and so this is just so weird. So but so in this part of, like, fighting against the universe and being this god, fighting against the other gods, is, to me, this, in like a, what is that, the genie in a bottle. And then people would, find the bottle and rub the bottle, and they get their 3 wishes. And they'd always wish for wealth and beauty, or whatever it was. It's always these things that people are driven towards, this 3-dimensional, give me a whole bunch of riches, and, people that love me and want to have sex with me or something. And yeah, it's funny how that one movie, that it shows how that, like, blows up. It shows the other side of that, because there is always another side. But that is a very 3-dimensional god-like creature, that you just want to have all these riches and earthly things. And instead of having peace of mind and a place of love. Like I always like these two different visions always come in. This the counterbalance that do this yin and yang, what I would call it. I was like, this one is Cinderella, and it's blue and pretty, and there's butterfly, like she's in sync with the universe, like the birds come up and fold her clothes for her. She is in sync with the energy of the universe, and like I said, she just goes around singing and twirling, and this is the light. Oh my god, just a minute, drama. That oh, I've got to tell a sad thing. This was something just I'm really upset about. But anyways, but then this darkness of this, oh, I'm going to control and put in some, some eye of newt and some bat's blood or whatever, all this stuff, because I'm going to make this person love this person, and I'm going to force this and force that. This dark energy of trying to force things and make things be. It's very dark. It pulls the darkness out in people, because why do you have to force things? So those two opposing forces is how I keep seeing things. And we're just so heavy on the dark, so heavy on this fighting this battle with this spirituality, where these people have become, this three-dimensional, like everything that's three-dimensional. I need to manifest a mansion. You just spend all day long focusing on it, because you got to envision it, because that's how you make it happen. And then you have for sure you got to stand up for yourself. You can't be passive. You have to cut people out of your life. You got to turn and not pay any attention to anything that makes you feel bad, because that would lower your vibration. You've got to make sure your vibration stays high by keeping everyone away from you who lowers your vibration. It is just all of these things that are just not spiritual. They're three-dimensional ways of making it to in the world or something. Like it's just not spiritual. Yeah, that's why I was saying there would be other people from other places that would be more spiritual. They would not be jumping on board to this new spirituality. And there is this stuff about, manifesting, but it's not what they sell it as. And manifesting is just different. And there is such a huge part of accepting your life, and not accepting it like, well, my life sucks, and, my husband beats me every day, and I just got to accept that this is just my life. Not like that. Like, that is your motivation to make a change in your life, when you learn to love yourself and to be like, I'm not living like this. I don't give a shit. Kill me, do whatever the fuck, but I can't go another day with this motherfucker. And so that is where you prioritize you, instead of this person's fragile feelings that can't handle life, and that they want to kick you every time they're down. And so that is, that's a person's life journey. But I'm saying is don't, because there's the two timeline things. There's the one where you're the victim, and then there's the one that you go towards your best timeline. So see, if she left that situation and she went towards her best timeline because she was choosing her, maybe it is that she's going to leave the game. Maybe he's going to take her out, and then she's going to leave the game. And then it has to do with all those other lessons that were before that. But it still is the way to go, is to stand for yourself, no matter where it's going to take you, is make you the choice, you the priority. And so that is the going towards you, and then the self-love and stuff. And so that's this breaking free from what holds you back. And there's something I'm missing, something I was going to say that I keep missing. My eye is itching. Oh yeah, because I want to say about this situation. Oh my gosh. So right before I went to bed last night, I got a text, and I read it, and it said, we have an application for Archie. Just want to let you know. As a matter of fact, we have two. And so I was just like, okay. And then I was just like, oh my God, I'm just tore up about it. And for one thing, I really like him. And he's kind of a dick. Like, he's kind of a bully. He kind of is mean to Max. So he goes and he's kind of a dick, but he's very, like, when you tell him to stop, he stops. Um, he's got some stuff, and maybe it's like little man syndrome or something. But he does not stand up to Stella as of yet. But boy, he's sure just a ragtag fucking Max all day long. Poor Max. And at first, I thought Max was being the one that's being aggressive to him. Max is sitting right here. He just looks up at me and does a big sigh. He's the sweetest little boy. And but anyways, I just love Archie too, and he's a part of this pack. He's a part of, here comes Max. He's a part of our pack, like, and then plus, to me, thinking at it from Max's point of view. I mean, not Max's point of view. He's a sweet baby. Thinking it from Archie's point of view is that he was already, like, his family that he had kids. So it was a woman, I don't know if she was married, but he lived with kids. And so then, and she had 2 pugs, 2 brothers. And supposedly they were fighting all the time. And so she couldn't, okay, Max, see, he gets so hyper too. So she couldn't handle the dogs and the kids and all that stuff. So she wanted to give him to the rescue. So she gave him to this church of pugs. And I don't even know what his brother's name is. Max, stop. And I don't know what his brother's name is because I went on to look at the Church of Pug website today. It was in the middle of the night, whatever, today. And I've been snorted and snotted on so much, sneezed on. And so I went to go look and see how much he was. And it's $900. So I don't even get a discount for having him or whatever. It's $900 no matter what. Like, look, people have got that much money for dogs right now. Like, it's insane. But anyways, I was thinking of from being Archie's perspective. Stop it. Now he's biting me. That he is going to feel abandoned by me. Like, he has tried so hard to bond with us. He's always cuddling up with me. He cries if I'm, like, out of his sight for a couple minutes. He reminds me so much of Morty. It's so trippy. I even was looking at pictures of Morty. I was like, fuck, his eyes are so, he looks so much like him. But he's tried so hard here. And then if they go and take him to another place, he's going to feel so abandoned. Like, that is going to be the 3rd house in, like, a matter of months. Like, that is not healthy for his psyche, you know. And so, damn dog, no. It's his long-ass arms. It's, like, wild. Now he's biting my hand. That would not be good for his psyche, to be moving and then feel abandoned again by me, like, and I'm being so sweet and loving, like, he's being so sweet and loving, he's trying so hard to be a part of the pack. And so I was like, oh my God, that is a big hole to me in this fostering rescue situation too. Like, there's got to be a different thing that we've got to set things up differently. Like, it's not fair to him. And then now it makes me, like, feel like my heart's broken again. Like, Morty and then him, like, he's only been here 3 weeks and now he's going to be taken. And I don't know. Like, I don't know what their process is. There's 2 applications and they have to do a home visit or something. Like, I don't know. But I don't have $900 to, the money I need to do for this fucking roof. And then my bathroom's about to fall through. So, I mean, whatever is meant to be is meant to be. Like, I don't have control over it. And if it's something is meant to be mine, she's got such an attitude. Just a minute, please. So, like, I am right in the middle of this. Can you just hold on a minute? Oh my God, the drama, I swear to God. Just a minute. Whatever I was going to say is very difficult to think through. Hold on. This is so annoying. Hold on. Gotta go around the things. My thing's all set up funky. Go. Go. Hurry up. What your big drama is. Here you go. Oh yeah, I forgot to say what the wood story too. So I started out, was gonna say it, and then I forgot. Then I forgot to say. And so now that I looked out, I will say, and I just saw something in Stella's little swimming pool too. It's like, I don't know what that is. I'll just see when it's more light outside. But so anyways, he had messaged me and he said that he wasn't coming, that he was stuck at work. And so I was just like, okay. So then I was like, well, I've got to still get ready. And it was about to start this raining. And so I was like, I've got to move my furniture off of my porch. So I started doing that. That's what I was doing in the morning while I was waiting for him. And so I got all my furniture moved and got everything organized. And I was like, oh man, everything went together so good. And I was feeling like really in the, and, so then I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and take the wood pile then. I was going to start moving the wood pile. And so I thought, well, I'll go fill my wood bin back there. Then I got a ton filled on my porch on my furniture. And then so I went back there and filled that and got it all closed up, got all that organized and everything back there. So even if a big windstorm comes in or whatever, I think it should be all good, fine back there. So that's all set for, like, that's my overflow. So if it comes down to emergency, I've got that wood back there no matter what. And then so I ended up moving all the wood. So I took the whole wood pile and moved it. So there's no wood. Like, I'm curious now what he's going to say when he comes. Because, yeah, I mean, he's stacked it all, but it's like, I got to go on my fucking schedule. I can't sit here and wait until you come next week maybe and bring it. And then it's going to be already raining and stuff. Like, I got to do my thing now. And so I got all that moved. So that is no wood there. So he's supposed to come. He said he would come this week or this weekend and bring another one. I said I want 2 more loads after that. So I'm going to have that all the way full if we get to that. Like, you know, I mean, anything can happen. Anything can happen at any time. And right now I have enough wood that if shit went down and we were stuck here with no power for a month, I would say I would be fine for a month with no power. The dogs would have the hardest time because of the food thing. I've got some dry kibble that I need to get some more of the, that's what I need to order, is some of that freeze-dried food. So I have some freeze-dried because it doesn't take up much room, but then you have something to feed them. So that is going to be my thing. I'm going to order some of that. And because they will be the hardest. And like I would need to buy a whole bunch of cans of chicken and tuna and stuff. But they're going to have to get used to beans. But if there's no power, you can't even cook the beans. Like, dogs are going to just have to deal with, whatever, however it goes. And now I may not even have Archie, which if they take him now, it's like I am not going to be emotionally ready to take another one. Like, it is very emotionally draining. You have one, start liking him so much, and then he dies, and get this one, start liking him so much, and then they take him away. It's like, this is some bullshit, man. And, I'm not emotionally equipped to just, you know, go through that kind of thing. I'm way more of a committed kind of person. That's why I was like getting married all the time. So yeah, I feel sad. If I did have $900 that I could spend right now, I would just hurry up and adopt him before the other people, because I would get first dibs, I'm pretty sure, because he already lives with me. So anyways, you know, I just feel like, you know, he eats regular food here. If he goes there and they feed him kibble and stuff, he's gonna be like, this sucks. And then he always wants to sleep on me if they make him sleep in a crate. It's just like, how are they going to change his life? He's happy with his life. he like is, I don't know. I just feel like we just don't have any respect for animals. We don't have any respect for other people. Just this whole thing is just like it's like a shit show. It's like all of these fucking gods fighting each other to get to this point of surrender and saying, okay, but if we all just get along and we bring in our information to one another, then we have peace and harmony. We create our own battle. We create our own war zone by feeling like that things have to be the way that we want them to be, the way we see it. And there's just so much of that it's just coming out in our society. It's like, it's a big purge that is happening, is letting that energy out, to purge it out of our society, because uh, it is so dark and so like controlling, where you have to control other people to find your own peace. And that stuff, I think, has just really been showing a lot of sides to people, just on the Mama Tot thing. Like, for them to get so upset over, I mean, it was really, really strange. I mean, she literally did a video talking about how mad she was about the disasters and how horrible, and she's so sad and she's so upset, and she just keeps crying about what's happening for these poor people over there. And that is what those people jumped on and said she's spreading misinformation, because that's how deep this thing is in the blue. Like, their whole agenda or something is this coming at them. I don't know what their fucking news, where they get their shit from. Like, it's weird. Like, you go in and just that one guy where he's just like, we'll never let it happen again, or whatever. It was some weird thing like that. And then, I'm like, well, what in the world does this mean? It obviously means something to some people, because they knew exactly what it meant, because it was the same motherfucking response on all the goddamn comments. I was like, what in the hell are they talking about? So and they all are convinced, that Donald is this crazy narcissist. Like, it's so weird. Like, of all the things that he did while he was being president, and all the good stuff that he did, and then it is so annoying too in this election period thing, is listening to these other people claim what he did, put him down, and say that he did all this stupid stuff, but then they claim all this stuff that he did. It's so weird. And the people believe it. And then they really think that he's really this bad guy that they say. So I don't know. I don't know if he's just standing on the stage, staring out and doing little things, but to me, if he's doing that, it's definitely not Sundowners. Like, I can't even believe how young he's looking. I think he's fucking been in the med beds. Or he's already, whatever's going on, he's already on it. If it is something with, if they're going to tell us all to take NAD or something, I don't know. I've seen another woman, she's older than me, and she is in such good shape. That's her whole platform, is her exercising and stuff, and her shape. Like, she looks so good. And there was, what was that other one? There was another one that is an older one. Let's see, that one just keeps popping in my mind. But there was another one I wanted to say something about, because something was popping in my mind. I swear to God, if I don't say it at that instant, it's like, it's hard to catch it. So anyways, that woman who is building that platform. Okay, so something about the minerals. Something about the NAD or some. Oh, yeah, okay. So there is all these, so in this trend, so whatever's going on, I'm not sure, but I keep seeing all these girls talking about it and saying, oh, now they're gonna take it, and where everybody's gonna have to be real skinny now. They're bringing back heroin chic. They're bringing back super skinny, and something else that they called it. And then they were saying it's because of this Ozempic, which I don't even know what this Ozempic thing. I just keep hearing it. And but I hear a lot of people talk about Ozempic face. It causes, like, I don't know. I always say get off all these motherfucking chemicals. And, but there is going to be this trend that is going to slim down society. There's no doubt about that. They may be able to see it coming, but it's not coming in the same way, or if it's going to come in that way, that's what's going to fracture it. But what we're going to end up heading into is a healthier society where people are going to start really focusing on their health. It's not going to just be heroin chic that people, like, if they go through that, that's an individual thing, of where they are in their healing. Like I said, it's all about this indulgence or restriction. So many people, they focus on restricting themselves and counting every calorie, being mad at themselves if they want a cookie or whatever. And then you have other people who just indulge in coffee drinks, 5,000 calories per drink, and wonder why they've gained weight. It's just very, but it's going to be in the awakening and awareness. People are going to start taking themselves more serious and more out. Like the people who are not taking any notice of how many calories they're taking in are going to start being like, oh, I could really pay attention to that and I could just lose weight real quick. Like there will be some kind of shift in their mind that will happen. These other people that beat themselves up and restrict themselves in order to punish themselves, they're going to start finding that loving themselves is a lot better way at going. You'll get better results loving yourself than if you are just being mean to yourself all the time. So that shift will happen. And the shift will switch into people's bodies and stuff. And it's not going to just be like, oh, the skinnier, the better. It's going to be the healthier, the more fit, the more you take care of yourself. That's what it's going to go into. And especially it's going to be coming out of, like riding the wave out of this sickness era where people are very sick and depleted. One thing that just blows my mind every time I see these, and I see them all the time, and so these women, and which I would say they're probably, well, some of them are probably a lot younger than me. So when I let my hair go gray, it was like 2016 or 2015. And mine was just like this. This is what it was. And I would get streaks in my hair though. I would get streaks. And so when she would do it, I would have her just do this darker. And so didn't just overall colored my hair a couple times. Like I did my hair red and stuff. I've done my hair a couple times overall color, but mostly I just did streaks. So, and then it was, you do highlights and then you have to do low lights. So it's just this going back and forth, back and forth. And so anyways, I quit at that time. My youngest daughter, she had told me, just let your hair grow out. It's really popular, like with the silver hair now. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I started letting it grow. And then I started getting tons of people complimenting it and being like, oh, I love it. So it started being more women wanted to grow theirs out. So that just, is a ripple effect in our society. And so all these women started rippling out. And all these women started letting their hair go everywhere, all in society. We all started letting our hair go. And so then that was like an empowering thing to let your hair show that it's silver. The video I had just seen of this one lady, she was talking about like, because there's all these things called Silver Sisters and stuff like that. Like it's a whole movement. And she was talking about that more and more women need to stop coloring their hair and let it go gray, because then people would see that gray is really a younger color. It's not just this older color that right now we just think it's all these really old people have gray hair, but there's lots of young people who have gray hair. And then, it's just more accepting if we put color in our hair and let everybody just be empowered to let your hair go natural. And so in that is, that is, the gray is a lack of minerals. So yeah, when you have your hair and it starts turning gray, then you see like you've got a lack of minerals and you need to go do that. But the people are ignorant to those facts yet, and they're still in this process of empowerment, of accepting themselves in their process. in the process of aging, but aging is manufactured, so it's not even fucking real. So they're trying to accept something that isn't even fucking real when you accept it as like an inferior lifestyle. Like, I saw another one. Oh yeah, it was this other lady. She was showing this 70-some-year-old lady that she has got, and she works with, and it's all on this movement. And she was explaining the importance of this movement. Like I've said, you got to, it's this being limber and moving and stuff. And there's so many videos now with just this 2 weights. All you just need is this 2 weights. There's so many that you don't even need weights. You just need to get your body to move in opposing forces. And then some of those things I'll start doing, I'll be like, this is aerobics. This is what we did in aerobics class. This is the same moves we did in aerobics class. And so that kind of stuff is coming back. This simple, exercise, but the movement, the one woman who, the trainer with this 70-year-old lady, she had her going down and doing like these spider crawls and these moves down on the ground, flipping your legs over. She can do headstands and she can rock climb and stuff, but all of that stuff, but that is how you got to keep, and but her hair is solid white too. And I was like, see, she's doing all this stuff to take care of herself, but she's still minerally depleted when she starts getting back there. And then that also does your skin. It ages your skin. And that is one thing where they keep talking about this Korean hair, skincare and stuff like that, because the Korean people are so young looking. And it's crazy. Some of those ladies look so fucking young. And, but people are saying it's not what they're putting on the outside, it's what they're taking on the inside. And that is where people have got to see it. It's these minerals and stuff. They eat this high mineralized kind of foods and stuff, and then your skin will start looking better. Ours is all this depletion, so we are being depleted with the minerals, and then our hair is turning white and our skin's going bad, and then we're getting stiff, and all these chemicals get clogged up in your system, and then people are getting stiff and not moving around, which ages them more. So you got to fight against the aging. It's not fight aging in this, but it's the aging doesn't exist. And if you don't fight against it, then you're going to go into this non-existent thing and make it exist for you. And it's a reality that you play into through your lifestyle. So it's you who has to be like, no, but there is going to be a wave of that. Just watch, because I know I'm not the only one who's having these kinds of results. And there will be a wave of that information that will come out of people starting to realize, like, yeah, you should let your hair go natural so you can read your gauge of where you are with your health. But then you got to start being like, oh, my hair's turning gray. It's not a great thing that I need to accept. It's something I need to take serious and start taking care of myself in different ways that I had no idea about. And so the things that I say about is that definitely what you're putting in, the nutrition and roots and herbs and powders and stuff. They are very nutritionally dense in that kind of stuff. So then you don't have to go and eat a whole bunch of different stuff, because you're getting all of this nutrition and minerals that you need in this other stuff. I swear to God, sometimes I feel like eating to me is for for fun. It's just like because I want to eat, and sometimes my body still tells me that it wants to eat and stuff like that. But I feel like there's so much of this stuff is very, there's going to be so much that's going to be changing about how we eat, how we get our nutrition, all of that, how we get our energy. I just know that this is in a transitional phase. Wherever we're going is not where we're going to be. However we're getting there is not where we're going to be. I mean, we're going to be going through different stages to get to where we're going, but where we're going to end up is going to be very different than all these stages. These are just the stairs that get us to where we're going to be. And so there will be a shift, where women will start being like, it will be exciting, not watching their hair turn silver, but watching it turn back. Like, it's very exciting. If you're one of the women who are doing it, it's very exciting. And so there will be that kind of thing. And it's going to be where people are going to start being really proud of themselves for what they've been able to overcome, what they've been able to accomplish, how they take care of themselves, how real that they are. Like our priorities are going to completely change over, away from this artificial existence, away from all of these artificial behaviors and what we prioritize. Like people are going to start realizing, like, I don't need a mansion to be happy. I need to just go out and do things that make me happy. And there's such a huge thing on spirituality that has nothing to do with how much money you have. It has to do with what you do with your time. Like people keep thinking that life is about how much you can accumulate and how much money you can make, and that says whether your life is a success. That has nothing to do with it. To me, it's almost like saying you've wasted a lot of your time trying to chase something. And then, some people wake up from that and realize and say, there's way more to life about living and, I don't know, being present in the moment and living your truth and being authentic and honest with yourself and putting that out into the world. And, that's where we're headed to. Everything else we're shedding. Everything else we're leaving behind. We're moving out of that energy and into this other energy. And so wherever you are in that stage is your position. And so there's nothing wrong with where you're at. You're not supposed to be somewhere different than where you're at. You're always where you're supposed to be. And to me, it has more to do with your focus. So once somebody starts focusing on wanting better for themselves and they start changing that energy around them, that energy changes around them. And then things will start going into place, into position. Things will start falling into position, into a different direction for you. Those are these two different timeline things. So anyways, now I'm getting really uncomfortable and now I should just go. Now my stomach's growling too. Now it's 4:45. I think some of these times when I put it to download it only takes like 15 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes. Is it weird? It hasn't, like there was a few times where it's been like an hour, but they are so messing with my thing. Oh my gosh. I can't even remember all the different things that I'll notice because it will be, when there will be an increase on like how many people are watching it, but then when there will be more people watching it, then there will be more people who will unfollow me. So they're not going in and watching and then following me. Instead, they're going in and watching and unfollowing me. And so I think that, YouTube wants me to believe that, but I think that they're just doing this. They're just messing with my thing as usual. And, I don't know when this censorship is going to end, but it's all definitely coming to a head. People are really getting to this thing of like being disgusted with all the fakeness, all the phoniness. They're sick of following these people who are like false, like it's like false idols and stuff. But even to the point where it's like Mama Tots and stuff, and all the people that were all caught up on Lieutenant Dan. That's why they're all freaking the fuck out. He's a criminal because they were all caught up sending him money, all like, oh, Lieutenant Dan, he's the greatest. And all of a sudden it's like, well, he's a criminal, he's got his criminal record, he's a drug addict, he's a squatter, like all these different things. I'm a squatter. Am I a squatter? Like the bank could think I am. It's like, that's still, we'll see. And my ticket thing, I don't think I handled that. And when I was reading it, it just looked like it says that they're just going to send it to collections. Because there should be a thing. Oh, yeah, I saw this fucking cop guy. I don't know, it was one of these live press conference things. I don't know, I think it was California. And it was probably after this fucking Trump rally bullshit. But he was sitting there saying, yeah, these Trump supporters, you just can't talk to them. They just don't think they're involved with society or something. They'll tell you they don't need a driver's license. They don't need this stuff. They're not a part of society. I was like, yeah. So I don't know how many cops are hearing that, but that is like the thing. Is like, no, I'm not a part of your corporate society. I'm under the Constitution. I'm under God's law. Once you know that and you start telling them, well, it's throwing them. And some just get mad. Some, I think they'll shoot you. Some of them, they don't give a shit. Some will arrest you. They don't care. But they just don't realize, like, you're committing serious crimes. If somebody tells you they're not a part of this game and that they don't want to be a part of your society and you're stepping over them, you're creating some of these people are going to go down for crimes against humanity, for not being respectful to other people, because it is this thing about you don't take a knee to anybody, and you don't expect anyone to take a knee to you. We're moving into this period of time of equality. It's been coming at us for so hard for so long. Oh, I'll tell you this other thing that I thought was kind of sad. Just be aware of, like, let people be, man. So this is a they them person, some young person, I don't even know. They're all just look androgynous. Who gives a shit? I don't understand why these people, but it's in their programming. They them, like, takes away any identity. You're just a that, and this is what society has told you where you want to go, and they get so upset, and that's all they want to be, is a they and a them and a that and a this. It's like, God damn. And then, of course, family members are going to be, like, upset about this. I mean, this is programming at its finest. And these people are such SJWs, they think we're all out to get them. We're all racist. We just don't want them to get to live their gay proof or whatever the fuck it is all about. So this girl, she has on her, it's just her sad face and her writing. So she went to talk to her grandpa and ask him to please call her a they and a them. And he put her in a headlock and threw her to the ground. She looks like but I don't know. It could be a guy. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe grandpa was throwing his grandson to the ground because he wanted to be called a they, them. I'm not sure. If it was his granddaughter, it's like, fuck, dude. But no matter what, you don't have the right to touch anybody else. That is against the other human's right, against any other being's right. You don't have the right to touch them and to assault them. And, she should charge her grandfather. She should make a charge against him. If he doesn't realize that you can't, and especially over they, them, you can't let that go. This is the part where I'm talking about, like, we have to let everyone learn for their own lessons. Just like, my daughter's going to Vegas and then going over to fucking Belize, flying all over the place, and during all these things. And, by the way, she got tickets to the Rainbow Kitten Surprise in Seattle at the end of November. So I got a ticket to that. And the whole time I've been, I'm always like, well, maybe the world's going to Seattle's going to be gone before that. Maybe Seattle will be blown up before that, and that concert will never happen. That's how I'm always thinking. Like, it's just like, I'm a little crazy on the sky's falling. And then, so how can I take my energy into somebody else who's out trying to live their life, especially when I don't know their window of time. I don't know how much time they have. And so for me to go and sit there and say, can't do that, can't do that. Just anything can happen, especially in fucking Vegas. And then, Belize, and then they've got these fucking hurricanes and shit going all over the place. To me, it just sounds so fucking mental. But I can't say that. This is her life. This is her experience. So we can't just sit here and put off what we want, what we think onto other people. We have to accept their journey. Just like when my granddaughter went to that facility place, and they're going all the way across, and then she got back the day before that motherfucking, all that shit went down over there. She got back the day before. Like, and that was the same thing that happened to us when we went to Costa Rica for that wedding. And we got back, and the next week it was quarantine. And so, like, fuck, man, the timing sometimes. And that's why I got to just trust on the timing. Because that was very, when timing has a very awakening factor. And so, I don't know what's going to happen over the next few weeks. I don't know what's going to happen today. I don't know. I know what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes. She's going to whine her head off until I go feed her. So anyways, I just keep yakking and stuff. And that's I don't even know if I'm saying anything. So, anyways, just remember what you're doing is learning how to love yourself, how to love everyone, and how to have a loving day because it's totally up to you. So, talk to you later.